Warning: this podcast may contain adult content or language. It also might contain content that could be seen from others as uncomfortable or upsetting due to personal reasons. If that is the case, then please proceed with caution or stop the video, as we at the table are comfortable in most circumstances. This is a safety blanket meant for all individuals watching these episodes, as it is unclear what story content will be displayed. Hope you enjoy the story.
Welcome everyone to One Shot Mishaps. We are going to be playing a one-shot with a very select group here. We're doing an additional supplement in response to a few of our players wanting to do something different, as well as one of our friends here who is going to be joining us on this adventure, but not in the campaign. If you want to introduce yourself at all, you don't have to say last name. So
Striker.
Yeah, our dear friend Striker, who's was a part of our campaign earlier, but due to scheduling had to be kind of let out of it, and since the schedule kind of opened up, now we're going to be doing some one-shots with them. So, before we get down to the story, I want to once again state, if you're ever interested in tabletop RPGs like Star Wars, White Wolf, or anything like that, check out rpgleague.com. That's their landing site right now, or you can look at them up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. They host tons of tournaments that are fan-nominated and have tons of different just reviews on other tabletop RPGs, not just D&D or Pathfinder. So check them out if you're ever interested. It's very interesting. Hopefully they open up more locations nearby so that way you can be participating in them. So, before we officially start, if anybody wants to go over their characters... Alright, Striker is silent.
Hi, I'm Jordan. You might know me as Ryder. And the character I'll be playing today is named Juna Steele. Might sound not surprising, I am an elven bard again.
Oh my god, except...
with a different personality and some different features.
And a woman.
And a woman.
Very
I'm pretty sure it's a she, but...
I'm pretty sure that was part of the different features.
Jeez. And the rest you'll find out when we play.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Kelvin. I used to play Rex Ruhr in our main campaign, but in this one shot, I'll be playing as William Vaughn Hilton. And in my class, it will be a custom-made class between me and the DM are creating right now.
Yeah, we're currently homebrewing our own class and trying to play test it more or less, which is a big part of why we're actually doing this one shot as well. And dear friend Straka there, silent about his character. Which is fine. So we're going to start up now. What are you doing over there?
Things kind of very nice.
Nobody ever knows what he's doing.
Fair.
Jordan.
So we take place in the Forgotten Realms once more. In several different decades, there was plenty of peace until there was a moment of an event called the Crashed Ark. That is when abyssal creatures had torn their thread from their own abyssal plane into the material plane and wreaked havoc across the entire land. For several years, abyssal creatures threatened humanity, destroying cities, ruining civilizations, ending the lives of anybody that was nearby to better gain themselves, until a group had a military force sealed them away once more, though this seal over the years has begun to deteriorate and only prevent lesser abyssal creatures. As such, to prevent large, expansive, what's the word I'm looking for? Large expanse fear and threat amongst the rest of the civilization, they formed what's called the A.C.T.S, the Abyssal Creature Termination Squadron. And their mission is to find, seek out, and eliminate abyssal creatures that threaten the thread once more. Should the thread break, the entire world will be thrown into the similar pain and chaos that it was at before. We take place with the 4 of you, because there are 3 of you plus a acquainted or appointed a medical official from the agency. And that's where we take place. So you 3 are joined up with two individuals. This half-orc woman, she stands in pretty royal type of cloth and clothing. Their robes, essentially, and she's there with a pretty massive backpack. It's absurdly large for her stature. She stands about 5'6", and this backpack easily is nearly 2 to 3 feet tall. Your commander is there. He stands with a solid plate armor with an embrazered zodiac sign of power and a shield with a similar stature. He looks to the three of you. Do I need to go over the briefing once more?
Yes, I'd like to refresh my memory, please.
It's very good, a good concept. Then we go straight forward and just forget about it. It's very good, a good refresh.
Very well. Your goal is to secure a abyssal creature that we've heard rumor of. There has been this city known as Crushed, and we've been told by the governor of the city that there have been a strange occurrence of missing individuals, disappearing folk, disappearing objects, especially those of threatening nature. As such, you are to go eliminate subtly this creature. You do not want to spread mass havoc.
We don't know what this creature looks like, do we?
As far as we can tell, no. I would assume to prevent his own gaze from the rest of the civilization, he is probably in some sort of disguise.
Then how do we know what to look for?
Do we know all the stuff that he took have in common yet, or no?
As far as I can tell, no. We have not tied that in. The only knowledge that we know is from our recent adventures against them and recent success against them. You're all very well acquainted with abyssal creatures. That is why you have been tasked in this aid. As such, abyssal creatures will be able to recognize when their own language is being said. Generally, it's not that common to the public. Apart from that, they are magical in nature, so finding them, seeking them out through their guise is going to be difficult depending on the amount of population that we go to. And the city of Crushed is very large. It's a waterlogged city, not rich in its nature, so it might be disguised as a peasant or a merchant guild leader trying to...
So in other words, we're going to keep our eye out for anything suspicious.
Anything suspicious. And if, from what I understand is true, they're very deceitful. They'll try to lie. They could be anyone. Children, elderly, women, anyone. So keep your eyes out. You have your appointed medical affiliate who will be there just to aid you. She will not be very prowess in combat, but should the need arise, she'll be able to do what she can. Not you. He looks over to the half-orc woman with the large-ass backpack and robes.
Question for the DM.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know the language of Abyssal, right?
Yep. You know Abyssal in addition to any of your other known languages.
So do we know how to write Abyssal as well?
You know how to speak, understand, and read and write it.
Okay.
You know it fluently.
Alright.
I already marked it on your sheet.
You are.
Yeah.
How do you spell it?
I can actually type it this too.
ISL.
ABYSSAL, I think.
Actually, can I get a piece of paper? Do we have any?
I think that's pretty neat.
Oh, that would be nice.
I can actually type on that too. He already marked it.
Where's my backpack?
Yeah, cut this out quick. And then,
I'm not gonna cut shit.
oh shit.
Oh, it's this paper.
Alright, now I need a pen. Because I should probably write stuff down and keep them. Like my health.
Yeah, that'd be important.
And our spell slots.
Oh, you definitely need to keep track of those.
I just can't use this paper.
You monster.
Here, actually, I got a notebook. Yeah, I got a notebook.
You?
You have paper with pen though.
I have pencils.
Okay.
I always keep pencils on hand.
You also have my guard cards.
I left those downstairs.
God damn it.
Oops.
Well,
Well, that's why we have books.
we have to go off
You do?
books now for everything.
Well, what I know most of your
Oh, there it
spells.
is, language. What do I need a pencil for?
You never know. Anyways,
I don't even have paper.
the half-orc woman looks at the three of you. Yes, I'm going to be here to help you, but I'm not going to be able to do much.
Nice meeting you.
Hello.
Pleasure.
Nice to meet your acquaintance.
Pleasure.
So how long you been working with us? Because I'm not seeing you
just
often.
Just an appointed woman to aid you. I've been working in the city itself, so I know the grounds.
Oh, so you're outside of this our group then.
Yes, I was appointed by the governor.
Who's our governor?
Governor of my city.
Who is the governor?
Oh, well, he goes by Ashton.
Ashton. Can I make a history check that I know anything about this person?
Sure. Make a history check.
Can I do it at the same time?
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, this is the reason why I'm here for.
Fair.
18.
18.
I got plus 10, remember?
15.
Yeah, you can make a history check too.
Oh, okay. 11.
Based on your intelligence, I'm pretty sure you're not proficient in history.
But
But
if I get a plus in my history, says plus 2.
well, yeah, if your intelligence is plus 2, then yeah, there you go.
This app.
So 13 total. Yeah, the three of you can remember. Ashton is a pretty well-renowned governor. His real name isn't Ashton, but he uses it as a figurehead. Essentially, it is meant to more or less. He gets Ashton by his family's kin. He comes from an Ashen race of elves, essentially, that were once founded in volcanic regions. And that's where he initially comes from. He's very well spoken, very polite mannered, and cares very much about his city, which is probably why he has reached out to the Axe to figure this out.
Don't you remember he was the one who hired us, pretty much, to do this stuff?
He didn't hire you. If anything, you're not even hired. The purpose of this is to protect the plane, not to
Get hired.
gain substantial funds.
He's the one who gave us the job, pretty much.
You requested our assistance.
Yes. Well, you've been given your task, you've been given your supplies, so each of you have 2 greater potions of healing, and one person has a single superior potion of healing decided amongst the 3 of you.
Oh.
I vote for June.
June?
Juna?
Juna.
Okay.
There you are. Apart from that, she has her gear in check. She kind of like shakes the backpack a bunch and you can hear a bunch of rattling inside of it about metals, glass, all sorts of stuff.
So how big the bag is it?
Well, she stands 5'6" and it's nearly half her height, so
Oh.
it is a big backpack.
You said 2 potions of healing, right?
2 greater potions of healing. So
Great.
they'll both. So they do 4d4 plus 4.
A lot of force.
It's a lot of force. I mean, it's 4 plus 4. During this time, you've also been traveling via airship. So,
We're going by airship.
well, yeah, it's the fastest way to travel. Don't worry about a road when you can fly through the air.
Less trouble that way, too. Right?
Alright then.
We'll be landing in the next hour, so if there's anything you need to do or prepare, do so.
Will we be staying here, Commander?
Yes, I'm not going to be staying. I'm going to be going back to the city.
Back to the city?
Once the job is done, we'll come in and find you.
Oh yeah. So then we'll all be off to go prepare and see what stuff we need.
Very well. And he kind of turns around, goes up into like a small bridge quarters up on the top deck.
So are we like on the airship?
Yep, you're on the airship. You're in the sub quarters. You're below deck essentially.
Oh, okay. I thought we were like the airport of the airship.
No, you're in the airship already like there, pretty much on the way there.
Okay.
Well, we're done here. I'm just gonna go back to my room and study up.
There's even rooms here.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a regular boat, just
No, it's not just a flying ship with a sailboat. Also, ships have decks. They have rooms.
I thought it was a small one. Okay.
No.
Okay. So what I'm gonna be doing I said I'm going to be starting, but I'm going to go through my equipment because I don't know exactly everything I have yet.
Yeah, you have the superior potion of healing.
The greater potions. I have that medallion thingy.
Yep, the medallion of thoughts.
The flying thingy.
The wings of flight.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have my 3 instruments.
Mm-hmm.
15 gold. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that was that. Each of you been given 15 gold to substantiate any funds that might be necessary in your mission.
So what else?
Never changed this 100 then.
Yeah, no, you did not get.
What else do I have?
I roll for that, sorry.
You have your hidden 2 daggers inside of the lyre and your
Oh.
longbow.
Yeah, okay, weapons, and then don't I also have that?
They all have
automatic?
20 arrows for it.
What kind of arrows? This
Just wooden arrows. Just normal.
steel tip arrows or?
Yeah, they're just arrows. They're arrows. They're just the same arrows as any other arrow.
Okay. Then I also have that like diplomatic pack.
Yeah, the diplomatic pack's just got like spell scroll or not spell scroll, like parchment and ink and quill.
Okay.
Just utility use tools.
Okay.
Basically, if you have something that you wanted to try out, just fucking ask, and I would. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It's the purpose of these packs is DM is just like you got stuff. You got 10 torches and stuff like that.
Okay.
Even though it's an elf, you have dark vision, which is an important factor. Right now, you,
I can't see.
Vaughn, are the only ones that do not have dark vision.
Ron, I thought
William.
William? I thought it was Vaughn.
No, it's
William Vaughn Hilton.
William Vaughn. Okay, I'm gonna call you Will.
That's
I
fine.
mean, who's you?
Hmm?
Who's me? You're the D.
Shut up. Anyways, is anybody else doing anything this time?
I go to have or ask her, what's your name again? I didn't really catch that.
My name is An.
On.
This is a new mission.
I'm really sorry. I'm really bad with names, so this is what I'm trying
Just call me A.
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 Okay. A. I thought you were gonna make a joke.
I mean, I'm not there.
No, as a player.
But anyways.
I guess you weren't on time.
Hate everything.
So, what are you gonna do for the time being?
What?
Yeah, what is going on?
So, what are you gonna do for the time being? This is mine.
I'm going to wait. There's nothing else that I could do.
So you're just gonna wait around here then?
Yes. Make sure everything else is in order. Go through a must.
Okay.
Question for DM.
Mm-hmm.
The shield and the sword aren't listed in here at all.
Check the top. Underneath attacks. Attacks I put down flame tongue dagger as a bonus action. You can, or flame tongue longsword as a bonus action. You can ignite it, giving yourself basically 80 feet of light. No, it didn't save it. That's awkward. Well, basically you have advantage on perception and initiative because of your shield, and as a bonus action you can light your sword. That does 2d6 flame fire damage until you turn it off, basically.
Man, how you lose your own equipment just like that?
Man,
Forgetful person.
apparently the DM's the one that sent me the list.
I wrote it down, it just didn't sound like it was safe. Anyways, after she kind of like looks to you, she sets down the backpack, goes through a lot of things. So you can basically see she dips like halfway into the backpack and starts rummaging around, moving things.
May I ask, what do you have inside your backpack?
Well, I have the appointed tech that we use. It's an emergency revivifying agent. It is
Tech? Like what kind of tech?
well, it's designated against abyssal creatures. Should well, I guess just other planar creatures. Should someone die from or perish in distinctful ways from creatures that are not from this plane, as long as it's within the next hour, I can bring someone back. Reinstate their heart. Only once though, otherwise it's used.
Only once?
Well,
This is a one-time thing then.
well, yes, most things of this nature are. It's very distinct and powerful, and it is experimental.
I see.
Yeah,
Yes.
question.
Yes.
My body is inspiration. I get one for each. For how much charm I got, right?
For your charisma
charisma.
modifier, yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And right now, it's level 9 to D8
Oh.
for that. So that also affects cutting words as well,
Okay.
Okay then.
and your Song of Healing,
Yeah. Of course.
Song of Rest.
Then I'm just gonna go around the ship and find myself a snack then.
Okay.
Yeah, you can walk around. There's plenty of food. there's plenty of shipmates as well. Some of the men and women that are on top deck are pretty large, burly, and mending to whatever they can. You can tell that the ship itself isn't propelled by sail. It's got propellers in the back that push it forwards, but there's something that's keeping it aloft.
Can I do what was it? Do a passive investigation?
You know that basically they're created and withheld through magical means. You're not sure.
No,
what
like I want to investigate like the people.
Sure.
Like there's like any of them like suspicious or
Make
something.
a perception check. Make an insight check.
Me too.
In your room, looking in the mirror. I'm the abyssal creature.
No. It goes into Juna's room. She's dead.
She stabs the mirror.
You say insight?
Insight, yeah.
Let's see. 17.
Looking around deck, doesn't seem like there's anybody that's being suspicious. You can see one woman is off to the side. She kind of like looks around. She pulls out a cigarette, starts to smoke it. Apart from that, everyone else doesn't seem to be suspicious, and that's when you also come to realization that everyone from this ship is from your city.
Oh.
So, your organization of acts. So, as far as you can tell, apart from the half-orc woman, she also is not looking suspicious other than digging into her backpack. But other than that, everyone else here probably is impossible to being the abyssal creature.
Is there a sign? No smoking.
That says no abyssal creature.
Each of them have neon light headlights on, like around their necks, that say non-abyssal.
Because that's gonna.
That was not wearing one. Get him.
But
Okay. Well,
yeah, everyone seems to be non-suspicious. Are you doing anything subcale?
No.
No? Okay. Just kind of idly standing by, staying silent, and
Yeah.
so. Okay. Anybody else doing anything? Otherwise, we're gonna fast forward.
Is there like an encyclopedia in their ship?
I mean, sure, there's like a tome that has tons of just book
Abyssal
knowledge.
creatures? How about this like about abyssal creatures?
It doesn't have anything about abyssal creatures. It's just it's an encyclopedia.
Alright, never mind that.
So fast forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fast forward. And then
So after the hour, the ship lands. Once it lands, you can hear bustling city folk that are inside the city. The city itself, though being waterlogged and a bit on the poorer end, the ground itself is cobblestone. It has plenty of roaming merchants or transit folk, and they seem to be traveling down the city, going from one point to the other, traveling outside the city, selling their wares, traveling with food, all kinds of just random, different personalities, different workforce. Apart from that, you can see that there's many different varying sizes of buildings. Some of them are straw tops, others are stone in nature. There's a bigger building that's over in the distance that looks to be like a white marble type of texture. And apart from that, that's as far as you can gather when landing.
I'm assuming that big white marble building is the church.
You don't know? I don't know if you're saying that out loud.
Yes.
It's actually the capital of the city.
Is that the capital of the city?
Yes, sir.
Oh, interesting.
This woman's accent is consistently changing. I have issues keeping an accent going.
Because I was like, is this a different person? Or
Nope, it's the same woman. Her
I thought it
accent
was just
keeps
somebody walking
changing.
past
Anyways, moving on from my inability to voice act.
So, have you been here before?
I'm
asking-
from the city.
You're from the city?
that's why she's here with us.
Oh,
Okay.
He's our guide and help.
I sit there playing my lyre. Like softly, just ding, ding, ding.
We should get going.
Yes.
We have a lot to do, and I'd like to get this finished as soon as possible.
I agree. And I guess she leads the way.
Yeah. So she steps off the ship. Well, I know the city, but I'm just going to be following your lead. Is there anything that you have questions for? Be willing to ask.
How long have you lived here for?
Better part of most of my life.
So, would you say you know most people here?
It's a very expansive city, and many people do change locations from time to time. So I know quite a few. I don't know everyone.
Where are you from?
I'm from the eastern force, near the river itself.
I think we should start there then. We should start with the area you know better. Maybe you can tell us something that's maybe off by chance.
I can do that, sure. I mean, it didn't seem off when I was picked up better part of a week ago. So,
I'll follow that lead.
alright. Well, so she takes you, because where you landed, you were towards like the western and north or northwestern side. So, walking through the city, you can see there are definitely beggars off the sides of the places. Some of them are children, elderly, sick. You also see pretty fair merchants. They are selling their food, products, and everything of the sort. Is there anything you're doing?
Yes. How does detect magic work?
Detect magic, you can either cast it as a ritual or, which would take 10 minutes to cast, but wouldn't cost a spell slot. Within range of, like, I think it's 60 feet, you can detect magic. You can see an aura. 10 minutes, I believe.
Okay.
10 minutes, because I remember last time
And then
Max used it.
Yeah.
is it if I increase the level slot, does the duration increase or does the
I don't think it's one of those spells that can.
Okay. I'll do a ritual then, just so I don't use a spell slot, right?
Yep, it would just take 10 minutes to
That's
cast.
fine.
Okay.
Guys,
Detect
I'm
magic.
gonna be casting a spell quick, so
It's 30 feet as well.
oh.
And it cannot pierce through most surfaces. You can so basically, what you see within those 30 feet
Yeah.
will have an aura if it has magical nature.
I'm gonna be casting a spell, so don't mind me, guys. It'll be an easy one.
What spell?
Detect magic, just in case we run into some abyssals on the way. How long does it take to get to where you're from?
About half an hour.
Perfect.
So after you finish casting it, unless anybody else is doing anything,
Yeah, you wanna like do
I sneezed in the real game. There you go.
yeah, it's pretty dusty here. There's definitely some people that are cleaning up like rugs from their balconies, just bunch of dust. Yeah, it's pretty disgusting. After 10 minutes, you finish casting your spell. We'll let it right now.
explodes.
No, but
Wild magic.
so when you cast it, make a perception check.
Where'd I put my dice?
It's right
Oh,
there
okay.
behind the thing. You are proficient in it, so
Which perception you said? What was it?
it's 19. So.
Yeah,
25.
I was sorry. I
When you're looking around, you don't see anything magical. You see a few magic items that people are selling, but they're well over your price range of what you currently have.
Yeah, for this.
Yeah, what can I buy with 15 gold? You can buy a quick boot to the face. Apart from that, you're still concentrating on it, so if anything should come up, we'll use your 25 as your perception.
Okay.
So, making your way there, nothing happens.
Okay, boss.
And eventually you make it to the eastern side of the city. Near the river, there's a lot more transient, like, fishermen. There are people that have fish strewn up by rope. There are plenty of people that are cooking fish off to the side. And there's children playing with what seem to be like water tools or toys. So, well, we're here. Doesn't seem anything out of the ordinary as far as I can tell.
Just take a quick look at what else is around us.
Well, there's plenty of buildings. There's inns and
Anything that sticks out, I should say.
sticks out. No, not necessarily. It seems like there's a small dock as well that has about what looks to be like a ferry of canoes or small boats.
Do you know where we can use our base of operation for now, or we don't have any?
We really don't have one. Our purpose is to stay subtle about this. We don't want to bring out any fear in the rest of the city.
So, what is that dock over there? Where does it lead to?
It's just a ferry for people that want to go down the river. It goes to like a neighboring city.
Next city.
What city is that?
The city of Pena.
Did you just make that up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting to make out the whole city, but yeah, the city of Pena.
How would we not know if the abyssal creature went?
Well, they've been disappearing from this city. If they've been somehow disappearing from the other one, that'd be their own issue. If possible, we haven't heard anything
Do you
about
have a
it.
map of the city?
Yes. And so she pulls out from this. She sets the book back down, kind of like sets on the cobblestone. She flips it up, digs in it. You can hear like some glass rattling. Eventually, she pulls out this massive, just like sprawled out, several squared device or parchment, and there's a basic general map. It looks to be essentially.
Before we continue this on, let's go find a table where we can talk about this.
Well, I mean, there's the Silverbrook Inn over there.
Should we go there? Just go find a table real quick and discuss this?
Yeah, I think I feel more comfortable.
What's your say in this?
We should do it like nice.
In fact,
That's why we said we should go this way. So we go to
Maybe in a room instead, not just in the middle of the tent. Yeah.
You're gonna buy for room for all of us?
the rooms are very cheap.
How much is room?
They run about a silver a night.
Unless you're buying a room for me, sure.
I think I'm okay.
Well, we'll head to the Silverbrook Inn still. So she goes inside. So there's this stone building, has several just carved out stone squares for windows. There's no glass in it. The door itself is just a frame. Doesn't look like there's an actual door in it. And when she steps through, you can hear a bunch of glass shattering and chattering, and
Wow.
yeah, clanging noise, just very common
So I'll follow.
effect.
So we follow her in.
Yeah.
Alright. When you make your way inside, you can see that there's about 7 different patrons here, apart from her, a barmaid, as well as a custodian that's up at the podium.
Alright, let's quickly find a table and discuss this quick. I'm pretty sure it's too rowdy in here anyways for people to notice us making plans.
I'm only following your lead. So whenever you
We
decide,
find
make a
a,
perception check.
while he does that, I'll just find a table that's like alone by itself and
Wow.
not near
Alright.
people-ish.
Alright, so you're keeping an eye out. So you guys sit down at the table, and she kind of sprawls it out, and it looks to be kind of like, I'll give you a general shape of it. I don't have an actual map, obviously, built, but I have a general idea.
Tyler,
Yes.
I think I also, I think I also have a feat where like anything in the past few days I can memorize perfectly. I forgot what that was though.
Perfect memory.
No,
No.
it was part of one of the things I chose. Maybe the heart. No.
Because you went with faction agent, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how that would have anything to do with memory.
Is it a feature that you picked?
I know.
I mean, you can. That's fine. It might not come into play. So yeah, you can
Well,
recall.
I'm just saying I can remember this map without forgetting it.
Okay, that's important to know. Okay.
So that's the thing I can do.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Makes sense.
You see me there, this on my face, playing through the map, trying to memorize it. What's that?
That is a water wheel
Cool.
with water going through it. It's going
What
to
is
be
the
a
wheel?
very crude drawing because I am shite.
How big is the city?
The city itself is, well, as far as you can tell, from one end of the city to the other, it takes a better part of half an hour to travel.
Oh, so not too big.
Which part of the
It's
city
still
are we
quite a
in?
bit.
It's still big, but
That's
not,
still easily a few miles. So
but not like Waterdeep or.
no, it's not like El Terrell where it's an entire enclosed dome city, or Waterdeep, or Baldur's Gate or anything. This would probably be closer to maybe twice the size of Greenest, to give you perspective.
Oh.
Okay.
Good thing I still have the map.
It doesn't look anything like it though, so that's not going to be very useful.
Okay.
Okay, so
Can you mark the areas where the incident happened?
I can do that, yes. So this is the church-like facility. This is the government's building.
literally on the other side,
So
and poorly made. Oh, you gonna take that? You'll be right back while you make the map.
Okay, yeah. So she starts pointing out several different buildings that have families that have had large figures disappear, like their head figures, like the father or their mother.
Like D&D figures.
Yes, like the indie figures.
These are big figures.
All of these buildings have had at least a single individual vanish, whether they're children, whether they're adults, merchant field goers, or just travelers. They've had plenty of people disappear within the recent months. And apart from that,
That's pretty spread out.
they're very expansive around the city.
But There was only reports of one of them, or reports of many abyssal creatures.
As far as I can tell, only one. I mean, if it was several, they would have acted already.
From what I noticed from the way you drew up the map, they're not really attacking. They're not attacking anyone near the government building.
Well, I mean, that's fair.
That can mean a few things. One, the government they didn't want to raise too much suspicion and get caught in the act, which probably the government building has the highest probably security, or that's where they're most likely hiding around that area to around suspicion away from them.
I mean, if you look at the water wheel, there's only one incident all the way over here. Government has 3 closer now.
Yes,
So that they could be by the water wheel.
that too. But since this is far away from where most majority of where they are, they'll most likely want to draw attention from them, which why they'll most likely be on this side. So I say,
I mean, either way, it's either this side or this side. This is the central area.
do you know what time of the day these incidents occur?
They vanish during the night, as far as I can tell. It's very.
Do you know the order of which it's happened, the events?
No. People have vanished for weeks without reports, and anybody else is. Sometimes they are reported immediately.
And have they?
We've chalked them up as.
Has anyone been found?
No.
Not
Nobody's
seen.
been found.
How long has it been since the first incident you guys had?
A few weeks ago, we had somebody vanish, and then they started to emerge. So, better part of 2-3 months was the first. The Ashton's been chalking them up and telling civilians that it's been kidnappings from travelers. Lower the fear of a detection of a very large abyssal creature that's doing this might be a little bit too much for the city.
If you guys ask me, I say we should investigate the government building.
You said these incidents spread all around the city, right?
Yes, they go all over. This is a little stupid.
What I said, just in case you missed it. I said they're kind of like searching around over here, and they haven't really done much near the government building. So I was saying maybe that either it's too risky that they don't want to do it here because it's probably the most secure area, or this is most likely where they're hiding because they don't want to arouse suspicion too much here.
Is it all this?
These are the houses that were affected.
Mm-hmm.
Is there underground tunnel?
Well, of course, we have a sewage system.
Do you have a map of that?
I could draw one up, yes. I'll mark it with my inkwell underneath the carriages. I'll do it in red ledger. As she pulls out several expo markers.
Shit, that was a Sharpie.
I'm sorry for making you do this.
No, it's a valid question.
It's my job.
Important. I do know quite a bit about this too.
Don't tell me that's the only sewage system. Okay, I was about to say.
I'm still drawing more.
Yeah.
It takes a while. It's a lot. I'm trying to remember everything that is involved with it as well.
I'm telling you, the end of
I know, there's a lot. You think a sewage system is gonna go from 2 fucking buildings? Guess what? Each fucking house probably got a toilet or something. Takes a while.
Wait,
You know how intricate a normal sewage system is? A lot. It's big. It expands all over.
Do you guys
It's
have?
a maze on its own.
You guys have alligators?
We've had gator problems in the past.
Crocodiles.
Sewage gators.
I don't know.
I guess we should investigate too.
No.
That was too terrible to even.
Acknowledge?
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
How big is your sewage system wise of people traveling in it?
I mean, people don't travel in
Does this have
sewage.
I don't know.
Hmm?
Is
Does
it?
this have sewage?
I'm still drawing. It's far, and I'm standing on my hand, so
You
yeah.
want to come over here?
I mean, I'm gonna have to in a second.
One.
I mean, just pass us the marker and just tell us what you want it drawn.
No.
Do you know how big a sewage pipe is down there? Enough to carry a person?
Easily. They're roughly about 10 feet in diameter.
So enough to carry a creature, you can say.
Yes, if they're within that range.
And we
can I do intelligence checks on abyssals? Or
that would be it would be history check. It'd be either a history or it'd be an arcana check.
Is abyssals like a single creature, or is that
It's
just
a type.
Is it type?
It's a type of creature.
Okay.
As a person, you would know that. So especially being part of the axe.
yeah, we should know a lot about it. So
But-
I guess really you should just ask if you want to know anything else.
But-
And we probably
So
know.
should I just roll still, or?
Well, what are you trying to glean?
Check.
If this type of if this like
Was he always some kind of creature that can easily fit in to this?
oh, there's a lot. There's a lot of this.
Okay.
So you don't need to roll because this is pretty common knowledge. You would know that a lot of abyssal creatures vary in size. The lesser abyssal creatures tend to be smaller, more agile, while the much larger ones are the stronger brunt of things that are going to get past the current leak that there is in the abyssal plane and the material plane. Although you would know that also abyssal creatures can change shape, doesn't necessarily mean that they can be any kind of. The more powerful ones can still change shape and fit through pretty much any kind of gap like a normal humanoid would.
Okay, so I have another question. For all the people who got kidnapped, who were they exactly? Do you know social status? What kind of people?
Yes.
And who it was?
I'll mark them here. This was a mother.
Just a regular commoner mother?
Yes, she had ties with a merchant. I'm not necessarily sure, so we could investigate that. By the way, you guys are over here. Let's mark that
Oh,
down.
that were over there.
East,
Oh, which was north then?
north.
Oh. Oh,
Never
you,
eat soggy waffles.
But yeah, but you know, we're facing this
Yeah,
way.
because no.
We're not you.
Oh yeah, that's right. I actually did draw this out, so you guys are on the side actually.
Motherfucker.
I'm
Still
sorry.
by the river?
Yeah, you guys are by the river.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah,
Yeah, I marked it down.
But anyways, okay,
Yeah, I
so,
built it trying to face you guys. That's what.
So a mother who had something ties with a merchant.
Yeah, some kind of merchant.
Okay.
You
You don't have to put too much detail. Just
Okay.
something.
Did they have anyone they all knew in common?
No, that's I'm not sure. It isn't.
So we got a mother that's.
Do you actually know
Contact
everything
to a
about
merchant.
the town? Oh shit.
I'm kind of making it up as I go.
Shit.
I
Suppose-
I know generally the story of like where this creature is.
Oh.
But I didn't make up I didn't even make up like stealing people. I'm gonna be going mostly improv with this,
Alright.
which went fine last time. I know that this one he has ties with a weapons dealer.
This is a
And with the
male.
father?
This is a man. He was alone.
So man.
His home is now currently empty.
We should investigate it.
This one specifically was strange because they had two different steels from the same family. The pet
Wait, you said
mastiff.
deal?
Hmm?
Sorry, can you repeat that again?
It was different because this is the only one that was essentially affected twice. They had a mastiff that was stolen from them, and then recently after that, one of their children was as well. A daughter specifically.
$1.
Not daughter. They had a dollar stolen.
So man.
You're gonna make the rent.
That dog was paying for my child support.
My child's support.
Oh, I lost my child. That's fine.
This one didn't, as far as I can tell, was just a normal man.
Nothing special.
And yes, this is an inn where several different travelers were stolen from.
Several.
Yes, about 3 different transit were stolen. Here, nobody was stolen, but several different magical artifacts were stolen.
So it wasn't just people.
It was objects, value, people, animals. It didn't seem like there was any prejudice towards what they were stealing. And this one had many different amounts of food and water stolen.
The thieves they stole.
many perishables were stolen.
What is this down here on the map?
That is a sewage line. It is an empty, vacant portion.
Is it outside the city?
Well, it is a pond for sewage. It does eventually get filtered out towards the rest of the land.
Has anyone ever gone out there before?
I've gone out there, no. I mean, yes, there's plenty of people that clean up the remainder of it.
And how often do you do that?
How often do they clean it?
Yes.
As far as I can tell, the government has set up quite a number of them. It cares a lot about the nature of the city as well.
How often, like how many times you do it? Like a month, once every 2 months?
I mean, I haven't done it myself. I want to say a few times a week.
A few times a week. So, if they were keeping the prisoners there, they wouldn't be there because people would be checking.
We've also ruled that most of the people that were stolen are probably dead by this point.
Yes, it's been 2 weeks.
In order of occurrence as well. It went.
You said they didn't know.
He knows now.
No, you are correct. She actually does not know. You are correct. Thank
Dang
you.
it, Striker!
Thank you.
Information,
Thank you. She quickly remembers. I do not remember.
Do you know? Do
She's
you
the
remember what
Here.
the last incident happened?
Where was the last incident?
The last one was one of the transit folk.
The transit.
Yeah.
Is there any more of those transit people there in the
Well, it's been 2 weeks. I'm sure that most of the people that were there probably ran away.
You said, were all 3 transit were stolen at the same time or different days?
The different days, they weren't stolen at the same time. Only one of them was recently stolen 2 weeks ago.
Was there any other investigations on these cases?
We can't, but that's why we haven't been able to find anything. That's why we brought in you.
Nothing at all? We
No,
should go
no
investigate.
sightings or anything.
We should go investigate that in since it was the last place that they hit and see if they left any tracks.
I agree to that.
Alright. We'll keep this map. Can you carry it with you?
Yes, I can do that.
Football.
Wow, right as I hit the button. You, sir, are a prick. Delete. Alright.
Alright.
I just full bombed the DM's map.
So, you guys fold up, make your way over there?
Yep.
As you're doing this as well, you can see Zubkail is over there kind of just staring into his mug.
Who?
You
Your
okay?
ally.
Oh.
He's trying to keep an active eye out and then kind of distracted by a fly that landed on top of a mug.
What's his name? What's your name?
Zubkail.
Zakale?
Zubkail.
Zakale.
It's actually a D, not a B.
Is it not a B? I've been calling it a B.
Zubkail?
Zubkail.
Zakale. Zakale. We're leaving now.
Zakir.
That's what I was thinking.
Zubkail.
Zakale! Okay, so is my detect magic worn off?
Oh, it wore off
Okay.
10 minutes before you making it to this
Alright,
building.
do it again, quick. Which roll? Blah, blah, blah,
Okay,
blah.
yeah. Making very similar fashion down the same road, casting detect magic. You do not find anything.
Wow, look at he always does that. Zakir, are you feeling okay? You seem like zoning out, and you didn't say a word so far.
He's been talking.
Yeah.
No, I was going out because he's been staring at his cup and a fly.
Brought up some notions. Reminded her that she didn't know something.
So, how long does it take to get there from here?
It'll take us about 25 minutes.
Okay.
What?
So,
It's not that far,
Here, going over there.
though. Yeah, but the distance from here to there is not longer, and you said it'd take half an hour.
When
to
we,
get
like,
across
over
the
here?
whole city.
You guys were to the north.
oh, so we were here.
So you were from over here, because you were northwest, so here to there. It's about the same distance. Like this took
Yeah,
30 minutes.
this is a
That's
little
only gonna
less.
take 25.
Okay.
Anyway,
From end to end, it'll take about an hour.
should I do another
Okay.
perception? Just in case? Okay.
Yeah, make another perception. You're going down. Yeah.
Perception. Yeah.
19.
Yeah, no, none of you spot anything strange. You do see a beggar who's kind of going up to some people, asking for coin, for him to get turned away pretty often. Apart from that, traveling down further down the road, You do make your way to this inn. The inn itself looks to be pretty luxurious in comparison to the rest of the buildings. It has dark mahogany type of wood.
Mahogany.
It also has like glassware that's multicolored in different places, kind of like a Shackles design. It's 2 floors as well, so the upper deck has this outstretching that has several different rooms to it. So it just looks quite luxurious. The door itself there has a pretty nice gold frame to it. And when you enter, you can see the inside. There's very nice tables that have cloth down the front of them. Plates of food that look to be a lot nicer than most of the city. They look to be like there's divine meat and all sorts of decadent meat.
Holy meat.
It's a powerful meat, but it looks pretty nice and plentiful, and people that are sitting down and eating here. There's plenty of people around that clearly have the wealth to do this. Most of them look to be merchant guilds, some of them being travelers that seem to have come across quite a bit of coin, things of those like. And varying different creatures. There's a few tieflings, halflings, majority of halflings than anything else.
So, go ask the innkeeper about the incidents.
Where's the innkeeper?
You can see that where the Silver Brick Inn before, it was just kind of like a small podium. This one looks like he have almost like a desk with like a large screen in front of it that is kind of hiding the ledger from everyone else that's at the tables or in front of that come up to them. It's a small almost electronic device sitting next to them. A microphone in the corner with several books. Jordan's reaction to it's like, oh, that no, none of that. There is a small
typewriter.
But there is like a small screen essentially that's keeping the ledger from everyone else.
Hello. I have a few questions.
When you because there's nobody there initially, but you can kind of hear someone underneath the table as you kind of ask that. A small gnomish man kind of perked his head up. Oh, hello.
Charm. I have a few questions about the incident, about the transit, that recent transit been stolen.
Innocence.
Transit.
Well, there's plenty of people around.
The recent transit that was stolen a week ago.
Talking about the stolen people from the incident, from your end.
Kind of looks around. Well, it's not something I'd like to talk about, but what do you need about? What are you looking to learn?
What happened exactly? Did he get stolen from their rooms? Did they just walk out?
They just never came back. Didn't see them enter their room, didn't see them leave their room, and then after about a day or two when I came back to try to ask if they were going to stay another night, they were gone. All their possessions were gone and everything of the sort.
So they left and never came back themselves?
Just yes.
Okay.
Some of them left a few things, but most of their valuables were at least taken.
After that, after you asked that, did anyone leave during that day? Leave after staying at your inn?
I mean, plenty of people. They come here only to survive for a day, and then they go off to do their own things. I don't keep track of everyone else's movements.
Anyone unique, suspicious that left, though, that caught your mind?
Well, I see quite a number of folk, but most of the people here are quite of a higher stature, and like most of you. Well, he's got some pretty nice armor on, no offense. But, I mean, I didn't pay much attention to it. I haven't seen any beggar folk entering or any elderly enter. It's mostly been fairly luxurious individuals. So this is to figure out what exactly. It's just a little curious.
Just curiosity. We heard about incidents. We just wanted to ask about it.
Well, I pride myself on safe stay. So, I was told they just probably left a few things, trying to get out of paying a bill.
Do you know anybody who saw them where they left?
Most of them came alone. One of them came with a woman. This was about a month ago, but I mean, she's been long gone by this point.
A woman along
They came as a pair, and only the woman was left. That's when I learned about the very first woman or the very
The one
first.
The third person came by himself, so they had no connections with one another.
No, I'll be honest with you three. The people that were stolen here, or people that vanished or walked out, I didn't know them. And the only ones that came as a pair were the very first one. And that was when I learned that somebody was gone. That's when I reported it to Ashton, and Ashton told me that they probably just left. So I told the woman that was there that her husband probably just left.
From the looks of it, I'm sorry to say, they probably left without paying.
Well, I mean, 2 gold isn't that much, but I guess to some people it's quite a bit.
Alright, we're done here. Now you start walking.
Just walk out.
Alright. So as you guys walk past,
He stays in the stairs.
no.
You like my armor?
As you guys walk past A, she just she looks at you. Did you gather anything that we needed?
No, he didn't know anything. Only thing that he told us was 2 of them came in as a couple, 1 came by himself, and one day they left and never came back. So from what we can tell, at least, the incident happened in this inn. It had to be at somewhere outside the street. From what I can gather from what they said.
Well, I mean that's something. If they being plucked off the street, then at that point it would have to be during night.
Yep. Like
City
you said,
is very
like you said
dark.
earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have people patrolling at night?
I mean, we have been recently, but before any of this, it was mostly just torch sconces with very limited patrol.
Is there a part of town where a lot of people try to avoid when they're walking? At
People
night?
like to stay away from the river.
At night?
No, I mean, people have fallen in, been washed away, perished due to drowning.
Okay.
Apart from that,
Any sketchy areas you could think about? Dark alleys?
there's plenty. I mean, the sewer system nobody likes to be in.
Let's check this place next.
We're at the abandoned house. Because the guy's gone.
There was a abandoned house.
Yeah.
Yeah. This house is.
It only had a single man in it, and he was the only one taken.
Yeah.
So maybe no one really investigated it. And no one lives there now, since the guy's gone and dead. If anything, we could make that a base of operations.
I feel a little strange using someone's dead abode, but I mean, we have to do what we must.
I'm gonna second that. So, you say you want to go investigate that? Well, we have no other leads besides that, so let's might as well.
Right, it's not that far, right?
No, it's more or less
10 minutes.
about 5-10 minutes of a walk. You can actually almost see it from here.
I'm gonna cast a spell while we walk again.
Okay, you cast it. You get to the building when you
Yeah.
cast it. So
Okay.
you have it for 10 minutes while you're
Yeah.
investigating
Alright,
this room.
time to investigate.
Okay.
I'm gonna investigate the outside. So
Is
I'm
that
gonna,
a
I'm
ground
gonna
floor
investigate
or?
the outside.
It's a single-story room. It is the building itself doesn't look to be fancy, but it looks rustic in a way. It has a lot of metalworks outside the front of it. Though over the recent time, it's kind of been worn down, torn. The metal that's out there seems to be rusted over from weather and the humid air from the river. Apart from that, the building itself looks to be just a very typical abandoned home. Nobody seems to be near it. Nobody's investigating it, looking into it.
So you investigate outside.
I'm gonna go inside and investigate.
I'll follow you.
Guess I'll do outside investigation then.
No one should be alone. Who knows if that abyssal creature will kidnap any one of us. So make sure you watch each other's backs.
Okay. So we'll cut to you since you're going inside. When you enter, you kind of push open the door, and it kind of it takes a bit of heft. It's a metal work door, and when you push it open, it comes out with a loud creak. Just and when you get
He said
inside,
a loud creature.
yeah, large creature, wham, just fucking punches you out the door. Roll initiative. No.
Alright. It reminds me of when it did to the door.
Hey, look at that! What a wasted roll on a joke.
Where did you get a
A
20?
natural 20, yeah. You'd also have advantage on initiative. But anyways, when you enter, it's initially dark. So it has like some lighting that's coming in from the crack, but the rest of it looks to be like dust covered and just dark. So once you open it fully, it starts to brighten out some of the room because it's about midday as well. The light that enters, you can see that there looks to have been some kind of fight. Like there's clear markings and like thrown table, like a chair is completely shattered into splinters. Make an investigation check.
Wow.
9. 'Cause my
Divide that
investigation's
20 by
Your
10.
investigation is +7. Oh, do you have an intelligence of +3?
Let me see.
Tyler marked my sheet, so.
Yeah, but
It's +2.
Is it 2?
Yeah.
What's up?
It's +2. Are you proficient?
I don't think so.
No.
Then it's +2.
So this can't be right then, right?
Oh wait, that's inside.
Oh,
Never
yes.
mind. I was looking at the wrong one.
What's not right with
I get that's all
That's
all my
I
modifiers.
didn't actually zoom in.
it? Yeah.
I was looking at the
Because
one
remember,
above
you
it. I
have
was like,
+2 to every single skill that you're not proficient in.
That's true. I
because
totally
of
forgot
that.
about that.
like
I forgot-
So all of your things are at least going to be a minimum of +2
I
or
forgot about-
+3.
I forgot about my jacks of all trades.
Yeah, Jack of all trades raises all of your skills that you're not proficient in by 2.
Nice.
Cool.
Once you get to 6, it goes up by 3 for each of them, and it's crazy high. But regardless,
All right. So anyways.
when you're investigating, you basically gather. It's dusty.
Yeah.
It's pretty dark. You do find
Bring out
an
my
empty
sword
torch
and
sconce. You can do that if you want. You take out your sword and you
Ignite
speak
it.
the command word. Just. What you guys see on the outside is this bright light emanating outside of the door. Quickly glancing, you can see it's just a flame-tongued dagger or a flame-tongued sword that
Fire.
Zadkale has, and you can clearly see the rest of the room.
I'm surprised it doesn't
On
break
is
out
all
the
like-
building.
So, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Doesn't On have to do it too?
Yeah.
What are you rolling?
Oh, 1, but.
So what you guys see as well from this light,
Uh,
you failed. You rolled like, what was that, a natural 1?
Is a natural 1. You automatic fail.
You automatically fail. And also, I'm pretty sure your dexterity saving throw isn't a +12, because the DC is 13. Gotta double check? You gotta double check there? Are you a level 20 character with 22 in dexterity?
I was looking at the
Off
other
topic,
thing,
I'm sorry.
the aura protection.
That's pretty funny.
No, I was looking at the aura protection. Oh my god.
That would actually affect it, so that is true. Which is actually funny because that would also help on make her save because she rolled a 13, so she would have saved anyways. But because your charisma's +5.
Yes.
So +5 to any
That's
saving
both
throw.
of his base.
So what you guys see is diving out of the room. Like as she's diving, you see Zedkale just kind of standing there looking around. From the blade, there's several sparks of just like substance. The entire building partially explodes as
Wait,
the
don't
weapon.
we have to make it serious?
No, because it's condensed inside the room, so it just shoots out the door. It doesn't
Also-
blow out like the building or anything. Like the building stays like whole, but the residual gunpowder that seems to have been inside of this building, this weaponsmith, seems to have exploded.
I crouched.
It's loud. It sounds like the ringing of like thunderous boom. Just so you take 3d6 force damage.
You need to go to the bathroom.
No, it's okay.
I just shit my pants.
So you just roll that.
Wow, it takes 8 points of force damage.
I need to talk to him. Damn it.
Yeah, he's kind of going about it now. It's a bad time. So we're gonna.
So
After that,
Well, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna rehash a little bit, so that way we can continue the story while he's taking a poop. You guys investigating the outside. We'll say that this happened after he did his investigation, which technically it did. So he would have been investigating anyway. So you guys make your investigation outside. Make investigation checks.
No.
There it is.
17.
You rolled an 8. You have a +9 to investigation.
6.
Is it investigation wisdom?
No, that's intelligence based.
Oh. Yeah, I just have 8 then.
6.
Looking at it,
Oh.
looks kind of blacksmithy. Looks kind of like somebody that works in metal.
I think the person here made swords, axes, spears, maybe even armor.
Are you speaking so quiet?
I'm shy.
Oh.
My character's shy.
It's interesting that it's coming out now.
I told you that.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but you have not shown shyness today.
I have. I was quiet the whole time. Have you
I
noticed?
haven't noticed.
I always been
I
quiet.
haven't noticed.
Alright.
I guess in comparison to your writer self, you're always talking.
Right?
So. Oh, it's good that you're back because this is important. So as you're saying the blacks. I think he makes weapons, swords, axes, maybe armor. You take 8 points of force damage.
Bitch!
And you look inside, you can just see the entire room is partially on fire. Quickly gets snuffed out as there's nothing substantial to burn.
It's a blacksmith.
It's a blacksmith. The only thing that really ignited was the residual
So I lost
gunpowder.
8 damage.
8 points of force damage, so yeah.
So I'm
And
at 70 health.
yeah. You have twice his health.
Are you okay?
This just kind of like looks out. I just saw. Didn't know that he was working in gunpowder. It's a little bit unnerving.
Oh.
Gunpowder? I thought this was supposed to be a blacksmith.
He's a weaponsmith.
A weaponsmith.
He dealt with a weaponsmith. I mean,
I say, you know how we came here to not arouse suspicion?
yeah, as you guys kind of look around as well, there's tons of people that are just kind of like looking around. There's like a dude with a bunch of cabbages. There's like seems like it seems like the cart has like gotten blown over by the sheer shockwave. And they're just rolling down the hill. Seems like a small like goatee, beard on, and everything, like top hat. My cabbages.
Okay, after figuring out this is a blacksmith, I think we gathered enough information. I think we should leave.
Yes, I agree with that. Let's go.
Yeah, as the entirety of this building is currently just blown to shit. Zadkel, you're inside. You're just standing perfectly still after the explosion, like, totally lost in the aftermath, looking around. It's very bright. There's several portions of fire that are being snuffed out. Looking around though, it doesn't look like there's anything left over here. The explosion was also very remedial because it was only the residual that was in the air. Make a...
Insight.
No, just make a general intelligence check because I'm pretty sure you're not intelligent at tinkering. Yeah, that's not gonna be enough. You're not necessarily sure why there was so much residual gunpowder in the air, but that's as far as you can kind of gather.
Where did you find Tinker?
It's a tool. If you're provisioned in it, then you would have proficiency in this, but you don't. So what are we planning to do now? We've gone to an inn, gathered nothing. We've gone to a building, it exploded. Yeah, you come out with like several tufts of like fire on your hair, and you
Just covered in soot.
just covered in black.
Okay, before carry on,
my armor.
what the hell happened in there?
Something sparked and ignited. That's as far as I can tell.
What do you do?
Nothing.
Kind of just put the sword away.
I put it away before I came back out.
Yeah.
Can I make an insight into this? Because my character's bard doesn't know.
I mean, you saw the explosion.
We had no clue what had happened, so.
Sure.
You saw the blade briefly before the explosion. seemed to be a delay.
I forget what happened there, but since you're the only one we left there, was there anything in there?
Not that I can tell.
Anything at all?
By the way, with your detect magic, you determine that there's no kind of magic on the outside of this building.
Good. Besides it being black.
Yeah.
No, I didn't really find anything except for it was dusty, right?
Just dusty?
Yeah, which is probably the gunpowder.
You still have your detect magic up, by the way. It's only been like a few
2
minutes.
minutes. And literally like a few minutes
Yeah.
until someone decided to blow the whole fucking building.
As you just look at Zacchaeus just looking off into the distance, so like a little bit of some like. It's funny because it's only like portions of his face is ignited from the sword, so it's just like he turns and he looks normal, and looks back and it's just completely black, covered in like flame and burned skin.
You know, well, since
Can
people
I
are
ask the time?
It's probably about 1 o'clock.
I'm gonna do perception of the people around us.
Go ahead.
Can I go back in?
You can go back in.
I'm gonna go back in.
Fuck. Why do I keep doing this?
Wait.
12 with my detect magic.
Okay. Looking around, it you're not seeing anyone that's nearby that's like being any suspicious. Everyone's just kind of staring at you as the entire building exploded. Because there was no like, there's not like buildings near it. It's kind of like in its own secluded area.
Well, I mean, a weaponsmith.
Generally is.
You need a big area working.
Apart from that, there doesn't seem to be any like suspicious behavior. People are avoiding you and staring clearly at you.
I don't know them. And I walk away slowly. I know I walk away fastly.
I don't know. You know, well,
As you have walked to the building with them very visually, stood there for maybe about 2 minutes, an explosion happened, everyone watches you, you turn, I don't know them, and you start walking away from this group that you have been with for a few minutes. They're not believing you. Is there anywhere that you're going?
That's a good question. I'm gonna go to this place where Calvin was talking about.
Do you announce that at all?
Huh?
Do you announce that at
No.
all? Okay.
doesn't know
So
it's
you
mine.
so you go back inside. What are you doing?
I tell Anh we should go with her. I don't know where she's going, but just go with her. And I'm gonna go investigate the other buildings that's been recently.
No.
And I'm gonna check out the mother's place right there.
All right. Well, it's about.
And also, can I borrow the map just in case I get lost?
Sure. She hands you the map. You are gonna need to make it. Well, yeah, but that's right. Yeah, you do know everywhere, don't you? So yeah, this is actually not gonna be that difficult for you. So when you go back inside, what are you doing?
I'm gonna use detect magic.
As a ritual or just casting it?
Ritual.
Ritual casting it.
10 minutes.
So 10 minutes. After you do that,
Can it stack if you like do it again? Will it just like refresh it?
yeah.
I'll just
You
do that while I walk.
Yeah,
then.
you can basically, unless you cast the spell itself, you'll have 10-minute intervals where you'll have it on, won't have it on, have it on, won't have it on. If you're just consistently doing that, there's no like harm. Yeah, literally, that's the usefulness of ritual magic is you can just consistently keep doing
Can
it.
I say, can I keep consistently doing it then? Or-
That's fine. We'll keep track of every 10 minutes at least.
Wow,
Okay.
all of us has detect magic.
Yes. Well, I mean, it makes sense. You're trying to search for something.
And then
It's
the
why
best-
you all have
the
a
best that
pistol
has
as
magic,
well.
yeah.
I also
Because
comprehend languages, so I can get other languages too.
yep, that could be useful in the future. So after 10 minutes, you cast detect magic. You also cast refresh detect magic. You do find magic inside this inn or inside this weaponsmith.
It's your
There
sword.
are several different pores in the ground that seem to have this transmutation magic to it. It creates like this sphere, and that's when you kind of quickly gather the entirety of this room is ever filling with this small transmutation magic.
Of like what kind of what?
Transmutation magic. The detect magic doesn't specify the spell. You can see an aura of magic, and as an action, you can determine what school of magic it is.
So like, what is it on? Like, isn't transmutation like changing magic in a way? Like its element?
Yeah.
So
more or
like,
less.
what is it?
Transmutation can also refer to moving objects,
On?
creation of objects, splitting atoms, more or less.
I wonder if it's just you blowing up the place that's everywhere. Well, you know, like, anyways, go on.
But that's what you see with your detect magic, because you can see this like ever forming like plume of magic that
Can I do an insight to see if I know the spell?
to see what?
If I would know the spell at all?
Sure, go ahead.
Wouldn't that be Arcana?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it would be Arcana, not Insight.
Okay.
Loose.
10.
This is less of a spell effect. You would gather that as much. It's more of just like an enchanted effect, but you're not necessarily sure A, of its purposes, B, of its origin, or C, when it was essentially enchanted in this way. So we're gonna cut to.
I was gonna say that one. I think cut to somebody else.
Yes. So we're gonna go to Will here. So when you're making your way there, you kind of look at the map, looking around, looking at any kind of landmark that's nearby. You see like a small like tower in the distance. That's when you kind of like equate it using mathematical equation. Just like that's there. There's a shadow stretches out about 17 feet that way. It's that house. Totally irrelevant to what you were just like equating. When you're approaching it, you can see the house itself looks to have been in better conditions. It has a sign out front that looks like it used to be very well furnished, and
Wait, you say there's a sign?
yeah, it's like it's more like a symbol. What?
When we were at the inn, did anyone use detect magic inside?
Not inside.
Okay.
I was outside when I was doing it.
Yeah, it ran out 10 minutes beforehand. Sorry. When you make it up there, it's like a symbol. It looks to be a little bit it's too hard to kind of read at this point because through wear and tear and just not like keeping up with the entire building itself. Several different portions of the wood seems cracked, rotted. The sign itself has any of the design completely missing. Looks illegible.
So there's like no writing on it.
No, there's no writing. It's more like a just symbol.
What is this? No, this one looks like.
As far as you can tell, it looks to be like a it looks like a bottle, and then there was something else on it that kind of like wore off. It doesn't look significant, whatever it is.
Shit, I should have asked if there's somebody still here in this house.
We're also gonna use your figurines so that way I don't remember where everyone fucking is.
Oh yeah. Didn't you say we shouldn't be doing that? I'm splitting up into groups.
Yeah. Me and him are going to
Well, too late now. Anyways, I'll just hate you all silently. So
it's all silently.
I hate it. My most hated thing is when everyone separates to do different things inside of a city.
Isn't
It's
it
so long.
Isn't it the player's job to make the DM mad?
Yeah.
No. Okay, so that's what you see when you are approaching this building, and so you're just gonna knock
Before
on the
I
door.
continue approaching it, I'm gonna cast my tech magic from my spellbook.
Okay. Yeah, you can also cast it as a ritual, so we'll assume that you did that on your way approaching it.
Yeah.
Knock
on doors, see anybody's inside.
There's silence, followed by more silence.
Hello, anybody inside? I'm here to investigate the lost mother.
At that point, the door opens. You see a small, like, probably 7-year-old boy.
Takes
I'm gonna
me.
kidnap you.
Takes me. You're looking for my mom.
Yeah, I'm here to. Yeah. So, is your father home or anywhere?
Our father's passed away.
Are you alone here?
I have my younger sister.
How old is your sister?
About 5 or 6.
Oh my god, this mama was busy.
Will you allow me inside your house and search around and investigate?
There's not much here, but do what you need to.
Just don't take me. You have to act like an open scared kid type.
He's emotionless at this point. He's been missing a mother, and he's 7 years old, running a whatever this is.
I was about to make an insight on this child, but
Yeah, make an insight check.
Wish I could get rolls like that.
Looking at him, you can definitely see that he's very distraught. There's moments where he's uncomfortable with letting someone inside, but there's like this release of care.
Is his sister next to him?
No, she's inside somewhere. You haven't spotted her.
Okay.
But you can see that he's got many different kind of subtle emotions going on. He's scared, upset, sad, worried, pretty much everything depressing.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna continue my investigation, so I'm gonna search inside the house.
Okay, when you do, there's residual magic. It doesn't look like there was anything inside itself was enchanted, but there's several different shelves that look to have vials that have magical healing properties, like the divination magics. Several different like magic weapons that are there, though a lot of the shelves are empty and weren't probably meant to be empty. It looks like there's about 5 or 6 shelving units, each with about 4 different shelves that are completely empty.
Is just like that one room, or is there?
So the way it works is when you enter, it is like a flat wall. There's stairs up to the right that goes up like into an awning that you can see. There's a fence lining that goes up to the top, and downwards on the first layer is where all the shelves, the countertop is, and that's on the top. You can see this about 5-year-old girl holding up to holding her hands up to the fence, just kind of looking down at you, and the stairs that go up.
Man, this reminds me of The Grudge.
Oh God.
Toshio.
Chew on.
And you said
Cat out of nowhere.
my detect magic sends a little.
You can see that there's magical items here, and through that you can see that there's probably like residual magic that was just on the shelves. It's not enough to determine what they were that was sitting there, but looks to be like a lot of magical items was probably stolen.
So how many potions there, and how many magical weapons there?
I mean, there's about 4 or 5 different vials. 3 of them are just minor potions of healing, as you can tell. One of them has what looks to be like an everlasting like clear liquid inside of it. The weapons don't look to be anything substantial.
So there's that. Guess I'll check upstairs then. Let's see. That's the only room. Yeah, I'll check upstairs.
When you go upstairs, there's really nothing up here. You can see that there's a pristine large bed. It looks to be completely like in comparison to the rest of this room and building, everything looks to be kind of rotted down, wear and tear, damage. The bed though is pristine. The cloth on it is immaculate, and it looks like somebody literally put this in here, though you can tell that it still has the style of what this room used to be. Next to it, you can see there are several small bed rolls that are on the ground next to the bed.
Oh.
I see. So they're all stuck here in the same room then.
Yeah, there's a small bedside table that just has a torch sconce implanted into it. It's not lit.
Just a torch.
Yeah, it's not a lit torch.
Okay. Great. So can't find anything. The parents is gone. Kids been here for a while.
You can also see there's a small rooms up to the side, and quick glance inside, you can clearly tell it's a facilities room.
Facilities.
Investigate the facility.
It smells.
It could possibly be anything. So
You can clearly tell it is a bathroom.
Doesn't work though.
I mean, it's not like modern plumbing. It's more so like a very large hole that goes far down.
I wish I had some water for me. Let's see what this.
You have a water skin. You're not gonna have to use that much. Like, what are you trying to do?
Just pour the water in.
Yeah, how much water? You can just pour a little bit in. It just travels down. You can kind of hear it splash at the bottom.
Great. I think I hit our dead end here. So I'll go up to the son and ask him, so what's the last time you saw your mother?
She was gone about 3 weeks ago.
Do you know where your mother saw her left before she was
She just went out to go get food.
food?
I mean, we need to eat something. It's been hard, but she went to go get food in the night and it was dark. And... Striker, stop rolling your fucking dice, otherwise I'm gonna take them away from you.
We will confiscate them, young man.
They're my dice. You will be rolling with nothing. All natural ones. Other than that, I don't know anything else.
You saw like any strange people that came by the house?
No. She just left and didn't come back.
Okay. Thank you for your time. I walk out the door. Before I walk out the door, cheer up, kid. I will find your mother.
And that
Trying to see it kind of perks up a little bit.
It's like the lackey.
Thank you.
Walk you all over again.
Please find her soon. We don't need any of the other things, just we want our mom.
I look at the other stuff. Then I just walk away.
Okay, yeah. Is there anywhere that you're going?
Before I'll look at the map. Did she say? Did Ann say anywhere where the marketplace be? Like a general area for market?
There's not really a general area per se. There's several different pockets that are. She didn't mark them down, and you're not with her, so
No,
she didn't say anything about it. No. I mean, you could try investigating the city by yourself, or you could try to find her.
By yourself.
I guess I'll investigate around the city.
Okay, make an investigation check while you're doing that. Juna. Okay, I was gonna call you June. So Juna. Okay. When you make your way to this magical item like facility, you can tell that there's plenty of people around that look to be kind of bustling. They're busy. Some of them are selling just product and produce.
Perception.
Yeah, make a perception check.
God. I want to see
There's
that.
a dice tray right there.
Yeah, there's
yeah,
a
before.
bastard.
It was used to be way over there. Now
That's
the
because I moved it. I put my
At
phone
8
there.
instead.
Yeah, you're looking around. Nobody seems to be doing anything suspicious.
Magic detection.
Yep. I mean, you're seeing plenty of like basic magic enchantments that are being sold for absurd prices. Other than that, you're not seeing anything magical that's going on.
So I just keep walking towards the building then.
Yeah. When you get within 30 feet of the building, you easily see it, but when you are approaching it, you can see the whole outer structure of it looks to have this enchantment of illusion on it. And it stands with about 5 or 6 of these like columns that have a spiral inlay going up it. You can see like, especially with your detect magic, there's like small blue lights that go upwards into it that come to like a tip.
Like a Christmas tree?
Sure. But there's like lights that are flowing through it that consistently like vanish, go upwards in a spiral format. Approaching it, you can see that it's a very expansive building, stands nearly 3 stories tall, comes to like a spire top to the top of it, and looks very formal for the way it is. Has the same marble texture as the government building does.
I walk inside.
When you do, you can see there's actually plenty of people in here. There's some that are old, some that are young. They're all wearing like pale white cloth robes on. Yeah, they just stab. You drink black flasks. No. Apart from that, that's what you see. You can see that they're all pretty busy, bustling, roaming.
Alright, I start walking around until I see a worker open.
Okay. As you are kind of walking in, there's a few moments where some of the people look at you and then they kind of quickly go back to their thing. But there's this fairly older woman who's still petite stature, but she you can clearly tell she's probably in her mid 40s, probably about 46 years old. Human woman. Excuse me, is there something that you need?
Oh, actually, yes. I would like to speak to the one in charge here.
Well, what do you need? He's very busy.
Just need to ask a few questions. That's all. About unrelated stuff. Not.
Well, if it's unrelated, then I'm sorry. He's very busy. He has a lot of work to do to replace the product that we lost.
Yeah, you lost.
Yes, it was taken from our facility in the night.
Can you tell me more about this? How long was it ago?
It was a while ago, but magical enchanted product is very difficult and time-consuming to spend. A lot of the higher-up product he's going to have to do himself. Can't really delegate that to Alessis.
Can I please speak to him about this? Please? I'm
Are you
kind of...
authorities or the government or anything?
I'm conducting my own investigation, yes.
Make a twitch check.
I was there.
I want to ask something, but I want to know this metagaming though.
Oh, I have a tray now.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, wow.
A little better.
13.
What was your question?
Do we have a badge?
A, that wouldn't be metagaming, because... And B, no.
Okay.
You would not have a badge, because you're trying to stay discreet.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have something to flaunt to other people, like, I'm part of the axe. Kind of defeats the purpose of being subtle. It's like a private investigator.
I'm just asking.
It's valid, but it's like a private investigator being like, I'm a private investigator. Shush. 13? Well, I'll go and ask, but I don't know anything about his schedule. If he's too busy, then I'm sorry, I'll be turned away. But I'll tell him that you're here to investigate or ask questions about our recent thievery.
I promise it won't take too long. Tell him that too.
Fine. After a few minutes, she goes up several stairs, and you can kind of see her as she goes up, and then she vanishes above more stairs.
I'm just saying they're looking around.
Make a perception check.
Everywhere.
Yes. What's those?
Should you plug it in?
What is this? A, I don't have port, so not on this side.
25.
25? Everywhere there's magic. You can see there are people in several different alcoves that have large amount of enchantment force coming out of their hands to like several different tables of items. There's some that are parchments. You can see that they're probably making spell scrolls. They're trying to replace a lot because you can see up above the walls there are sort of like hanging murals that are empty, completely empty of what was in them before. Some of them are very expansive. There's like some of them that have like glass casing over them that are also now empty, though the glass itself is pristine. Apart from that, you don't see anything else. After a few minutes, she comes back down. Well, you're quite lucky. You got him right in between him finishing and starting a new one. So you have a better part of a few minutes.
Alright, do I just go up and see him now?
I'll escort you. And she takes you up the stairs, and as you do, you can kind of see going up the first floor. Going up the first floor.
Man, you're
It's like a very flat open room, the second floor. It has a few bedding and like tableware. It looks to be more so like a cafeteria of sorts. Going up the next layer, it's a lot smaller, and there's only a single large like silvering door, and she kind of like knocks on it, then opens it. Excuse me, sir. Gran, and he kind of like opens his eyes, and there's this very old, white-eyed, kind of milky gray gnome man. And just for player knowledge, because your character would know, gnomes live to be about 300 to 400 years old. And if he's elderly, he's near that age.
Okay.
Yes. You had questions about.
Oh no.
About your stolen
Yes.
item?
Yes.
May I come in?
Yes. Of course. He's just breathing.
You gonna open the door?
Door's open.
Oh, it is open. Oh, okay.
You had to open it to
No, I
enter.
thought you opened like a slide. Okay.
No. She knocked on the door,
Okay.
opened it, and
Oh,
asked
okay. I
for
thought you said-
Gran.
okay. I walk in then. Okay.
Yeah, it's not a very big room. It's maybe about 30 by 20 feet.
Crouching.
No, like it's tall, but it comes like a spiraling top up very far up to the top. But the room itself is only about 30 by 20 feet.
Okay. So,
had questions for?
yes. First off, I would like to ask, how much of your goods were stolen?
Well, the less goods there's being sold, they go towards the government and plenty of other locations.
How much of it was stolen?
They left a lot of the lower grade equipment and stole much of the more powerful grade. Our greatest achievement was stolen, and as such, we have a lot to replace.
When did this happen? How long ago?
A month or two ago, it's rough to equate.
Has it only been one time, or?
Well, usually it's difficult to do, but this creature got past our magical defenses.
Once.
During the night, we have a force that prevents outward excursion. They had some way to get beyond that.
What kind of security did you have to stop
Security.
security?
Well, we all sleep during the night. We thought that our magical force was strong enough to keep out any unruly creatures or denizens of the city.
Okay. And again, it happened at night, correct?
It's during the day you saw downstairs. It's not enough. Kind of freezes for a moment.
Enough.
I'm sorry, what?
Your forgot.
Not enough time or space for someone to stealthily hide and steal our most powerfully enchanted items.
Where do you keep your most powerful things?
In the glass wares, as a secondary subterfuge from the rest of the people that are inside of this building. We've had inside thievery. The glassware is enchanted to prevent any outer force from entering it. They had some way of taking that out from its own encasement.
And what way is to break that spell?
They didn't break the spell. They took it outside of it. We don't know how, but that is all that we know, is that they somehow
No
took it
possible-
out of it.
Do you have any ways that you know that?
Other than
makes it
dispelling the magic, but as such, it would reveal that it was affected. The magic was untampered with.
Okay. One more question. Remember it. Was there any leads left behind?
No. Everything that was stolen was stolen with such... Freezes once again. With such
Precision?
precision, yes. There was no evidence of any malware or magic to tamper with or counteract our own.
Okay. Thank you for your time. I'll let you get back to your work. I'll let you know if I figure anything out.
Please do. It's going to take me about 3 months to remake such an item.
Will do. Oh, sorry. You said all your magical items you make, some of them go to the government building?
They do. It's like a listing. the government enlists our aid in resolving several different issues, whether it's cleanliness, searching for individuals, protecting the city, or cleaning any or purifying any food or water.
That government building, have you ever been inside of it?
I have many times.
Have you been throughout the whole building by chance?
I'm sure there's alcoves that I've missed, but I'm in there to do a job. I don't go out asking questions.
Alright. Thank you for your time. I walk out.
Okay. When you exit, you just keep going about their business. The woman kind of, did you get what you need?
Yes, thank you for all your help.
Well, hopefully it's of aid. A lot of work is put into this building, and a lot of work is studied here. It's very difficult to create what we make, and a lot of the city itself can't do it.
By chance, Grant told me no one works here at night, correct?
No, everyone else sleeps. Everyone has to get their jobs done, and when they can, they sleep. A lot of us put in 12 to 13-hour days, and other than that...
And from what I heard, the stolen objects only happened all at once?
We've only had one night of stealing. Every other time, anybody that tries to gets deterred by the security.
Besides this one, have you heard of anything else that same situation happened?
From who? The city or just us?
In the city, in your city in general.
I mean, other than a lot of strange occurrences, nothing else happening, like people vanishing or food being taken. Nothing else really has caught our eye.
Okay. Thank you. I'll be on my way.
Alright, have a good day. She picks up like this massive just pile of like papers and parchment and starts roaming around, placing them on top of people's desks and stuff.
I go quickly. Okay.
Yeah. Alright, where are you going next?
The closest building? The food building, I guess.
Food? Alright, so you start making over that. Cutting over to
and,
you.
Detect.
Yeah. Refreshing it. So what you're doing, you're doing what? Right now, Anna is still there.
I thought you went with him.
No, she didn't know where he was going. She didn't know where she was going.
So she just stayed there instead.
Yeah, she just stayed with you.
Because you look like the one to get hurt a lot, so
You didn't just explode. So.
You still have that black mark.
Oh yeah, it's still on there. It's gonna be on there until it's like, washed.
Is there any sinks or anything in the building?
Looking around, you do see that there is a washroom in the back. There's no sink per se, but there's like a bucket of pretty green looking water.
Oh, that's actually not.
Yeah. Other than that, the rest of the building doesn't seem to have any value to it. Anything that was taken, like the forgery or any of the liquidized metals, seems to have been taken. You do find like spatterings of like molten or solidified molten metal, possibly iron, silver. You're not necessarily sure. Did you find anything?
No, nothing really.
Did you explode?
No. No. Can I roll to investigate the floor? See if there's any trapdoors.
Sure. Make an investigation check.
Didn't you find
He found the pores, but he's looking specifically for trapdoors.
Trapdoors, nice. 15, 17.
17? Looking about, you do find what looks to be a small, so there's still the forge there. Just all the tools and any metal is gone.
Yeah.
There's a strange, hinge to the corner of it, and when you look around, the hinge doesn't look to go to anything, and when you kind of, move it, the entire forge actually kind of, lifts slightly. But you're making an athletics check to see if you can kind of move it. Because it's a hefty forge. And you missed the dice tray. It is an inch from your dice.
20.
Easily. So all it happens is you don't even realize that it's probably heavy. You just go. You can see like bits and pieces of it just kind of crack and fall over. You definitely see what looks to be a pitch black hole. It doesn't have a ladder or anything. It's just a hole. Make a just make a
Investigation.
no. Make another investigation check. 14. You can tell that whatever this was carved out, not by tool, by some kind of natural
Water.
No, like a natural element to it. It looks more like a burrowing hole than like a trapdoor.
Okay. Do I have a torch in my inventory at all? Is there any?
Yeah, you have a torch.
Is there any torch like on the walls?
There's torch sconces, sure. They look to be pretty dusty.
I'm gonna take out a torch. Take out my sword, light the torch, drop the
Okay.
You blow up
First,
again.
make another dexterity saving throw.
7 plus.
None. Oh, +5 plus your dex, which is a +1. So 13. You save. You take. You take 2 points of force damage.
Okay.
As what happens is you light it, you see this sparking this time, like, oh shit, that's right, and you look around with your detect magic still up. You dive into the washroom, just boom. A secondary explosion emanates throughout.
Do I hear this?
You would hear it.
Would
Yes.
I hear it by chance?
No, you were
Okay.
too far.
Can I go towards that?
You on your as you're heading towards it. There's just you see smoke start to rise once again, and it's like, what the hell's happening in there? Are you okay? You do drop the torch. It drops. It kind of like skirts down, and then the burrow kind of like leans in, and it just kind of like rolls into the distance. You can see the light fade until it's gone.
Okay.
So it rolled a very far distance.
That,
It dropped probably about 25 feet.
Would I know which way of the building it's going?
Sure.
Sure.
You would know
Oh, yeah, bro.
that it would have faced this direction.
Okay. So I know it doesn't run into the sewer then. Or it might lead to the sewer, just not by the washroom. Or wherever.
The thing is like I'm not gonna do lines per fucking building of the sewer system. These are the main passages.
Okay.
The red lines are the main passages in the sewer system. Otherwise, it would be red. Like the whole thing would just be red if every single building had a washroom that led to the sewer. These are the major pipelines.
Well, yeah, I just wanted like the burrow wasn't.
It did not go
directly
straight
to-
into as far as you can tell, straight into a major pipeline.
But it might have gone into the one back there. But I don't have a map, so I don't.
Yeah, you're not
know.
necessarily sure. But you just know that it's following west.
When I dropped the torch, could I tell if there was an incline for me to climb in and out?
No. When you dropped it, it just went into a decline,
Okay.
and eventually the light faded. You're not sure what was beyond the burrow.
I meant like right in the front area, because it was just the hole at first. The burrow, is it like able for me to pull myself in and out of it to like investigate?
Oh no! If you jumped down, you would drop 25 feet.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Yeah, no. When you drop the torch, it's just straight down 25
Okay,
feet.
that was what the question was.
Oh, okay, no.
Okay.
When you drop the torch as well, you would also have learned, after kind of letting the whole room smolder calmly, the light that was on it, it illuminated several different like claw marks along the burrowed hole.
Would that be like a nature set down?
For what?
See if I could identify the claw marks.
Sure. Make a nature check. Nature or Arcana. They're both intelligence based.
Yeah, they're both +2, so.
You can tell that whatever these are, it is clearly not a natural creature. the claw marks are too deep and rigid, and they're also like quad clawed. They're exactly in like a symbol that's like this, with no thumb, just your normal hand with no thumb, and they're just dug into the holes and scraped upwards, essentially.
Okay.
You can tell that whatever that is, not a natural creature that you've ever seen.
So not even an abyssal, or?
Well, abyssal is not a natural creature.
True. So
as far as you can tell, it is most likely an abyssal creature's burrow.
Okay.
Ew. What? Poop? Yes, it's filled with shit.
You're full of shit.
What do you think's been exploding? It's the method.
Oh my god. Can abyssals give off methane when they poop?
I don't fucking know.
You're the DM though.
All of a sudden,
Sure, they all
light
have
up.
asses. I don't know.
You mean
Anyways, what are you doing?
abyssal?
That's what you've learned. Abyssal.
I'm gonna go outside and tell on.
When you exit, you dove out of it, but it still kind of covered the other bottom half of you. So now you just come out with like 3/4 of you covered in black soot. As like this, you're like two-facing it like right now.
On.
She looks at you.
Fuck. What the hell happened? You were staring again.
I found a hole, so I lit a torch.
Found a hole, and you lit a torch.
So I thought all the gunpowder had already ignited the first time. So
Let me double check if there's more gunpowder. Could you again?
You can make a deception check there. Nah, you're fine. Because in reality, your character would have probably realized that the magical energy that was kind of forming into a plume. But at the same time, you didn't know that initially. So yeah, never mind. You're fine.
yeah, you didn't tell me that. You just told me that there's magical things coming out of the floor.
And it's creating a plume of magical cloud of energy of transmutation.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, transformation.
absolutely said
You didn't
that.
say the plume though. You just said transformation magic was coming out of the floor.
I said it created like a space in the air. Regardless, you took 2 force damage. It's not a big deal.
No, that was.
And it was fucking
I'm at
funny.
68 now, so.
No, now we all know he's a dumbass.
I mean, his intelligence is higher than yours.
I can't see it.
He has his moments. Anyways, you found a hole,
A burrow
a burrow.
with unnatural claw marks of anything in this room.
As you're also investigating this, because you were heading to where? You were investigating the city.
Yeah.
So with your investigation, you were not finding anything because you rolled like what, a 3.
Mm-hmm.
You were looking around. There are people selling things. Doesn't look like there's any true marketplace as far as you can tell. And in the distance, you hear, and you see more plumes of smoke. You can just put your head down, start running towards it. So you emerge now here. You
But
can see
sitting- but how did I know?
a 3/4 covered person, or keep forgetting your name. Zed Keel. Now like tri-covered in soot instead of just half of him covered in soot.
What the hell happened?
Exploded again.
What? You know that happened before, and yet you still do it again.
Yes, but I found a dark tunnel. So I was trying to light the tunnel to see if I could see anything.
So you, what? Light a torch?
I did. I lit a torch. I dropped it in the hole. Then exploded once.
All you hear is a. And it is in the
It's
fall.
the abyssal creature just landing.
Oh,
in the
shit.
hole, you just hear just a face palm in the hole. The abyssal creature just shaking its head.
I didn't think this was going to work twice. Anyways, continue on.
Oh my god.
I informed him of everything that I found.
Yeah. So he informs you of like how he found more or less it was like a remedial hatch that had a burrowed hole underneath it. That has claw marks, very clearly not from any creature in this plane. Most likely an abyssal creature's burrow.
Pull out the map, I draw the barrel, where's it going?
Yeah, it goes that way, where I marked it already. Because you're not going to know how far it goes unless you go down into it.
We
This
can
is
use
the
a
one we-
reminder for that though.
I guess this is the
Dump
only
it down
lead.
there.
Or you can try to climb. It's up to you.
I could actually just fly down there too though.
Yeah, if you want to use that, you use it for a day.
I know.
You get it again in a long rest. So, being an Asimad. A protector Asimad.
I guess that's our only lead right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, might as well see.
Do we go now or do we wait for your friend?
I guess one of us has to stay up here just in case one of our friend comes back here.
I mean, I'm not combat heavy, so I can wait.
That's a good idea. Just
Alright.
wait here then. The two of us will go.
We have rope though, right?
Yeah, you have 50 feet of rope.
Each of us?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's in your packs, so.
Yeah.
In the room, was there anywhere to tie a rope where it wouldn't
Right now. You
Okay.
could have easily found it. Like, there's torch sconces. Could have tied it to the forge itself. There's probably
Forge
several different,
shop.
like, piggets that are in it for, like, molding and stuff like that, so you can just tie it around that.
Alright. Good.
Yeah. You tie it down there, you drop it, hits the ground easily, as it's 50 feet and only had to go down 25 feet.
Yeah, I read that.
Did I see it? The torch founder?
No, the torchlight is gone.
Oh, yeah, that faded a while ago.
So,
You first.
Alright, I climb down there.
to you, it's just pitch black.
I know. So
Okay.
I want that. Only I have the
I'll
rope.
climb down there and then I will pull out my sword and ignite.
Okay, now you can see no explosion.
I was supposed to,
Roll to sit down.
I want to yell, not yet, until we get all the way down there.
Yeah, no, it's clear. Your detect magic is faded, by the way, by this point.
Alright, I'm gonna redo it.
Yeah, it's gonna be 10 minutes to
Well,
ritual
if
cast
I
it.
can climb down.
I mean, it's not gonna take 10 minutes for him to climb down, it's gonna take 20 seconds.
I know. I'm
So,
gonna sit down there for 10 minutes on casting it.
okay. So you see Zedkiel just sit down and start casting ritual magic. In your way.
I was about to say, my book.
You also casting detect magic. So you two have a sit down detect magic ritual casting session. We're gonna cut from this and go over to your ritual casting.
I mean, I knew while I'm moving. I ain't saying nothing like their asses.
I want to know.
I have a book.
Alright, anyways.
I'm playing safe at this.
so-
I've blown up twice.
Yeah. Going up towards the water wheel, more or less, the buildings start to kind of become more scarce. There's a lot more riverways that kind of like are approaching.
You didn't go to water. To the building floor.
The water wheel's right there. He's saying approaching that direction, approaching the water wheel, you can see that the buildings have gotten more scarce than the rest of the city.
Yeah.
Getting up towards where it was depicted on the map that Say gave to you, she marked it and labeled it as food, and that's where you are now approaching because of your perfect memory for days.
Okay, so walk in. It just is the door closed?
Yes, yes.
Would he see the plumes of smoke?
No.
You would.
I
You
mean,
would
if I-
probably see him.
I mean, if I look.
There's also several different plumes of smoke. There's one that looks to be pretty billowing. You do remember that being in the same general direction of where the explosion happened before. Doesn't look any different, but you can definitely tell that it's still there.
Okay, so I just don't notice.
In
it.
reality, you probably wouldn't know that another explosion
Yeah.
happened because the flame wouldn't have added to it.
Anyways, okay. I go up to this thing
Sword up.
and I knock gently. Hello?
1 second. There's like a small it at first glance it kind of took you by surprise. It's like a double door. There's a bottom half and then a top
Oh,
half.
I got it.
She pushes open the top half and you can see it's actually pretty expansive inside. You can see there's about 2 kids that are playing in the corner. One's probably about 13, the other one's about 12, both brothers. There's a husband in the corner, or as what you can assume, a husband, as they both have wedding rings on. He has what looks to be several different leather sacks, and he's throwing them into a wheelbarrow. Is there something I can help you with?
Yes, I'm here to ask you a few questions about the stolen items.
The food?
Yes.
What's stolen food?
Is it a common thing?
We get a lot of beggar folk here, so we just assumed that it was stolen by someone that needed it, so we didn't really...
Did this happen only once?
Yeah, it's happened
once or twice. But has it happened twice? And the husband looks around. It's happened about 3 times.
When was the most recent one?
The other night.
The other night.
Yes.
Was
I mean, they looked pretty young, so we didn't press charges or.
young.
Yes, they were just beggar folk, like I said.
Do you know these beggar folks by chance?
We've seen them around for quite a while, yeah. Maybe better part of like a year and a half.
Was it a man, a little boy, a little girl?
Like an older gentleman, I think. They all kind of look similar. We try to do our best with determining them, but there's so many.
I'm sorry to ask this a weird question, but do you know where you usually find them by chance? Those specific ones?
They're usually around. If they ever need food, they come here.
Around here, or maybe the other side of town?
They like the water.
You like the water. Okay. Sorry, one more question. Is your place connected to the sewer by chance?
Yes.
Do you have a way people could get into the sewers from here?
From in this room?
Yes.
No. We have our facility, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just a little wondering about it. I'm new here, so I don't know much about how things are run here. I'm just here to ask questions. But thank you
Once
for
you go outside the city, you're not going to necessarily find an entrance to it.
Alright, well, thank you for your time.
Blow up twice.
Alright. So I start walking away.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Detect Magic, of course.
Okay.
obviously.
It's still on.
Yeah. I'm gonna did I see anything magical?
There's nothing magical inside there.
Okay.
Or outside the building. Or the water wheel. Or the water.
Okay.
One chance in water.
I'm gonna go start walking along the waterway.
Okay. So you're just making your way down this way?
Yep.
Okay.
And just start walking
Kind
down.
of heading towards the Silverbrook Inn, where you were at before.
Okay.
So we'll put you there for now.
Okay.
Hey, you can see the smoke even more clearly.
Yeah. As you're kind of going down, you definitely see that there are plenty of ragged-looking individuals with like their feet in the water, and some of them, like some of the younger ones, are in the water swimming, playing. Apart from that, you're not seeing a whole lot. You can make a investigation check or a perception check, rather.
Oh, thank you.
5.
9.
9.
9.
Looking around, you're not seeing anything suspicious. You also aren't necessarily specifically seeing any of the older ones that the woman had explained to you. There's plenty of them. You just can't get any quick depictions of them. You see like about 4 or 5 of them in the water, but other than that, you haven't.
Nothing with magic, didn't you?
No magic. When you pass them, you keep an eye out. No magic, and then eventually you do make it to the Silverbrook Inn. Detect magic fades.
Oh.
Yeah, you cast it again, but so while you're doing that, are you still moving, or are you gonna stay by the Silverbrook Inn?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go back to where they are. Like, well, I guess now I know where they are.
I mean, you could probably easily assume I'm still.
You're at the last place you remember was they were at the blacksmith.
Yeah, I'll head towards that direction, but I'm gonna head towards the end. Not at the end, the government building.
Okay, so
And if
yeah,
I
you would be crossing over it.
If I
so.
see them and if I ever, I'll keep an eye out for them.
Okay.
If I see them around, I'll stop and talk with them.
Okay.
Or whoever. is
So while you're doing that, we're gonna go over to you two. So, Detect Magic's up.
Gonna start making my way down that tunnel.
Making way down.
Yeah. I was gonna say
Fast, moving slow.
I hate you.
I was gonna say it too. I'm gonna make my way downtown.
Okay, so
Like,
you lead the
tunnel.
way with your flame tongue sword out, and it's creating 80
No
feet of
explosion?
light for you because it's pitch black otherwise. Beyond that 80 feet, it's dark, even for you, because your dark vision only goes up to 60 feet. So,
Oh, that's fine.
you can see it reeks first and foremost, being sewer. It's not troll's claw heavy, but
But it's
still.
Tyler's room level.
It's not. My room is not. Does not smell.
Do you see the torch channel that I dropped?
You look around and you can see, because it came to like a steady decline. Your torch sconce has fallen into the muck, and that's what put it out. It rolled off into the muck.
So the tunnel led into the sewers then?
Yes, you have led into the sewers.
Do we see any claw marks that's on the ground that's leading somewhere?
Claw marks, no, but when you're looking at like where you came from, there's definitely claw marks clearly that form the burrow. Other than that, you don't see any specific ones that are in your general vicinity.
Can we tell which way the claw marks originated?
Originated?
Yeah. So like if they clawed from the sewer up or from the blacksmith down?
That would need an investigation check.
12.
Looking at it, actually it'd be more like survival. Is your survival the same thing? Survival's wisdom.
Well, you will find out.
Oh, survival.
Yeah, you can roll
Plus
survival
3,
too.
so it's 13.
13? Okay, that's a little better.
9.
You can't tell.
Should I be disadvantaged for this?
Hmm?
Should I be disadvantaged because I'm investigating in the dark?
It's not dark for you though, because he's got 40 feet of bright light.
Oh, okay.
And then beyond that is 40 more feet of dim light.
Yep.
When you're looking at it, you can't tell because you're looking at it and it looks just like claw marks that he pointed out to you. What you see is the claw marks look to be as though they dug upwards
Towards the blacksmith.
towards the blacksmith.
Okay.
Can I make an investigation to see if there's footprints?
Make a survival check.
Is that survival?
Yeah.
Sure, that's followed.
Because it's trying to do tracking. So
Oh.
After heroes up. Do so.
18.
18. Yeah, you can see there's not like footprints or anything. Anything that's down here, because the entire way, I'll describe the way the sewers kind of run right now. I'm just going to use a single symbol for you for now. Is it comes out to about 10 feet further, and then it dips down about 5 feet, and then flattens across the entirety from one side to the other. Everything in this entire vicinity is cobblestone and just stonework. It's about 30 feet from you and the other opposing wall. So when looking across on that landing, on your landing, with the distance that you are without moving, you're not seeing any footprints. You also kind of gather it might be a little bit difficult to see footprints on cobblestone unless there was immense force applied to it. Because it is also 10 feet tall.
Any scratch marks?
No additional scratch marks apart from the tunnel. Doesn't seem to be any other markings.
So far leading to a sewer.
Yeah.
So we're just investigating around the sewer.
Might as well. We're down here. Otherwise, we can go back up and try to find.
Juno.
Jenna.
You can go ahead and do it.
Nah, I'm good. We can investigate them.
So which way? Left or right?
You got a coin. Let's flip.
I'm not gonna use my gold coin. You do it.
So stingy.
It's you. My person is very stingy with his gold.
I was like, getting ready for something.
I might have a coin.
Oh. You magically found a copper on the ground in the sewers.
I mean, hey, things fall when you go to the bathroom.
Oh, look at that. There's a makeshift circular odd units. There you go.
Yeah, odd or even.
Even. And we'll go right. Odd, we go left.
It's even.
You going right?
That's because right is always right.
Get out. Good adventurers go left.
Never gets old.
So you make your way to the right, which would be so you're facing west, so that would be that way, so that would be
West.
this way.
Yeah.
Like you said. West.
So eventually you come across a lot like thicker tunneling, and the tunnel itself for like the centerpiece of it is 10-foot diameter. So it goes because like you're like when you came down, you're like a sub portion, which was like I was only 5 feet across from each other. When it got further into like a more main area, it kind of dips down into about a 10-foot diameter, like liquid form, and then there's still about 10 feet on either side of it, with the top of it being about 10 feet tall. When you get down into that, you turn right and you start to walk down. Make perception checks, both of you.
19.
You have advantage on perception because you have shield. 19 plus whatever.
Yep.
You both are just keeping general close eye out, not hearing any sounds other than just the kind of like mulching water and yeah.
I'm not gonna get attacked by rats again, am I?
No, as far as you can tell. So, keeping your detect magics up, not seeing any magic.
So how far? Oh, okay, we need to go that far. So we can keep going.
Yeah. Let's keep investigating, see if there's any other burrows going anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys continue going for probably about good 5 minutes, and now it splits out into 3 different directions.
I'm gonna cast detect magic as a ritual. Keep going.
Okay.
He's gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna pull out the map and figure out where we are.
Okay. Pulling out the map.
It's wet.
It's you can kind of gather that because being underground is difficult to ascertain where your general location is. However, because she labeled the sewage systems, you can see that you are at the tries portion here, and to the left of you would be the mother merchant that you had gone to previously. Ahead of you would be a sewer drain into the river, and to the right of you would lead to more sewer.
Let's go to the direction of the mother.
I was thinking the same thing.
The mother? Okay. So you guys turn left and start making your way there. Make a perception check.
You see the mother.
Advantage on perception.
Yes, you still have advantage on perception.
Wow, I failed both rolls. I got perception. What is my perception plus? Oh, plus 7.
24. So you don't see this. You continue walking with your flame-tongued sword.
5 plus 7.
How's it 5 plus 7?
Whoa,
Perception's a plus 7.
Okay, so 12 in total, not
Yeah.
plus 12 to your roll.
No.
That's what I gathered from you saying plus 5 plus 7.
Oh no, I was 5 plus 7.
Okay.
That's good. What I was saying.
Gotcha. You don't notice this. You, however, will. You see Zadkiel continues walking with his flame-tongued sword and completely passes over a hole in the ceiling that has several claw marks that go across to it from both sides.
So it's like
that go
straight up.
And you can gather that you're probably halfway between the city wall where you currently are, or not the city wall. You can gather you are underneath the merchant's house.
The mother's house?
Yes, the mother's house.
Like, what?
The mother merchant.
Oh, the mother merchant. Like, okay.
With that, I think this is a good enough place for us to take a break here.
Wait,
It is-
so is the hole like straight up?
It's
Or-
straight up, like right,
like
like
a big hole or the top?
big hole. And you've seen the like,
Is it the same one as this one?
yes. And that's where we're going to cut.
Cut.
So thank you everyone for listening. We are getting into the. You guys gathered quite a bit of good knowledge on what you guys are doing.
Blown up twice.
Blown up twice.
Who's still alive?
But yeah, so we're going to take a break here, probably about 5, 10, 15 minutes, and we'll come back here once again with some more investigating.
Or killing.
Or blowing ourselves up.
Yeah.
So my other
That
parents
was
roll,
me.
when I roll 11, that's a natural 30-20, just tell you that. I didn't tell you that.
What?
Before we had to make perception like around here, I roll 11, and I didn't tell you what my total was. You just focus on him.
Well, you had the map anyways, so it didn't really necessarily matter. You didn't spot anything from back there, so... Yeah, you wouldn't have spotted anything from back there, and that's why I had you roll it when you were here. So, All right, everyone, thank you so much for listening, and we will see you guys again on another one-shot mishap. Thank you guys for listening.